Welcome everybody. So today I wanted to do a brand new YouTube video, and this is going to be on Final Draft 10. So Final Draft 10 is a professional screenwriting software for your screenplays and stuff. It's what everybody in Hollywood pretty much uses for their spec screenplays, and I kind of wanted to go over this and do a little bit of review for you guys because I know I did one before, but I did not go that in depth with it, and I apologize. But I want to do it with my better setup and everything. So that is why we're here. And so right here we've got the Final Draft 10 screenplay page open. You can buy it at store.finaldraft.com or just type in www.finaldraft.com in the search bar, and then it'll pop it right up. So you can generally find this online for around $249. That's usually what its base price is, but if you get it on sort of like a sale or something like that, then you can get it for around $200. It just depends on the time of month that you buy it. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you guys are wondering where to buy it, this is the place to get it. I highly recommend it. People like Oliver Stone have used this screenwriting software, as well as people like Carrie Fisher, J.J. Abrams, and Darren Aronofsky, who wrote Black Swan, which is another one that has just popped up on here. And I use it all the time. I highly go by Final Draft 10 as my choice for screenwriting software. It's what I go to when I'm trying to write screenplays, because if I try and write with Word, then I'm going to have to do all that by myself, and it's going to, force me to kind of go in and make those changes myself, which is the thing that I don't like. I like quick, simple, and easy, and that's what Final Draft is allowing you to do in this situation. So without further ado, let's get out of the Final Draft tab here, and what we're first going to need to do is we're going to need to open Final Draft. So we're going to go right here to Final Draft 10. I also got Final Draft 9. You can pay for the upgrade, but I just decided to pay for another separate software so that way I can have both. But you definitely don't need to do that. You can, when you have Final Draft 10, if they come out with Final Draft 11 or something like that in the near future, you can, purchase the upgrade, and then it'll upgrade it automatically for you. So we're going to go to Final Draft 10, and it'll bring up the Final Draft 10 software. Sorry, my desktop is a little bit messy. I didn't bother to clean that up a little bit before I started recording this video. All right, and when that is popped up here, you can extend this little edge of your screen here, so that way if you want to blow it up and have a little bit more writing space, or if you want to have a little bit more room to kind of write and do stuff, this is what you're going to have to work at. So what I first like to do is I like to go over here to the title page, and I like to put in all my information and what I'm going to be doing for the screenplay, because this will help people out figure out like what's the name of the screenplay, who's it by. It has a place for you to list your address and phone number as well, which I probably won't do for the sake of the fact that this is a test screenplay. This is not an actual screenplay that I'm going to be sending out to anybody, and plus I don't want to leak out that information. So we're going to write The Baron, and written by name of writer is going to go right here, Josh Beaker. And if you're going to be doing like based on, this is where you're going to want to go. You're going to want to erase the if any, and then you're going to write like J.J.R. Tolkien or James Cameron or something like that, if it's based on a prior property such as Lord of the Rings, or something like the Terminator, or something like Black Hawk Down or something. You'd be putting the person who originally wrote the screenplay in that little spot there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to erase that line, and we're going to go into the screenplay here. So this is the blank page. What you're going to want to remember when writing a screenplay is you're going to want to remember story structure, which basically you have, hopefully you can't hear that, there's sirens going off in the background. But what you're going to want to remember is you're going to have to fade from black, or you're going to fade from white originally when you're starting off your screenplay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do fade from black. And then it'll automatically put the fade from black in this little spot here, so that you will be able to know where you started off in your spec screenplay. And then INTs and EXTs are for when you're going from the interior of a building or the exterior of a building. INT stands for interior, which is be the inside. EXT is exterior, which is the outside. So anytime you're going to be having an outdoor setting, you're going to want to use EXT. Anytime you're going to have an indoor setting, it's going to be INT. So we're going to put EXT, and there goes the siren, which is a little bit annoying. So we're going to do ext warehouse, and you're going to want to put day or night in the slug line. For the purpose of the screenplay, we're going to have it be night. And then from when you're moving on in your screenplay, generally it's going to change from day to night. So you can obviously do that depending on where you're at within the timeline of your story. And then underneath here, you're going to have a description of the action that's going on within the scene. So we're going to have an establishing shot. So what we're going to want to do is put a camera angle in there. Generally, when you're writing a spec screenplay, you don't want to have camera angles within your descriptions, just because that kind of states, hey, I'm directing this, and you're just an amateur writer, so people are going to be a little bit turned off by that. So generally, you want to use as little bit of camera angles as possible. If you have a cool shot that you want to do, you can obviously use camera angles within that. So pans over a warehouse building in New York City. Johnny. I still hear that freaking siren going off. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Alright, Johnny enters, rides a bicycle, and slides into the turn, opening the door as he walks inside. Alright, so I'm going to space this out. The helpful thing about Final Draft 10 is they have a spell checker, which if you mess up on something or if you mess up on a word, you can go to the spell checker and check the word and then drop in the correct word that you're going to be using for, that shot or that, sentence, and then fix it, after you're done. When you're writing a spec screenplay, you're going to want to sort of fix mistakes after you're done writing it. Proofread it just to make sure that your action descriptions are not too long, or that your slug lines are correct, or that your characters have dialogue and their sentences are not misspelled or anything like that. But generally, action sentences run on for 1 to 2 sentences. Sometimes they can go on for 3 or 4, but generally no more than 4 is what's the recommended for a spec screenplay. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to bring in our characters here. So we're going to go to INT for the interior of the warehouse. We're going to do warehouse and night again, and we're going to bring in the bad guy. So the bad guy is going to be the manager, aka the Baron. He's going to be kind of pissed off at Johnny for, not showing up on time for work. It's late at night, so he's got sort of a late night task to complete. And so we're going to show the manager's frustration by having him sort of pace about the room and be generally angry about that. So what we're going to want to do is go to your action description, and we're going to type Baron paces about the warehouse entrance. His assistant watches with a nervous expression on his face, fearing what he might do when Johnny shows himself. Alright, so we got that. And I'm going to do ignore all. And when you're writing, generally the thing that you want to keep in mind here is this little corner of the screen. This is going to be the icon which will display sort of action, general, scene heading, parenthetical, which is basically a description of what the character is doing, whether he's yelling, screaming, whatever, jumping. You're going to want to do that when you're being a little bit more descriptive to kind of help the actors on set figure out, a little bit better what their kind of motivation, what their character's doing within the shot. Transition, shot, cast list, blah, 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 blah. Every time you switch, go through tab, it's going to change to whatever you're currently writing. So we're going to go to tab, and then it's going to change to character, and we're going to write Baron, and we're going to have him be kind of angry in this. So we're going to write some descriptive dialogue that's angry and fierce, and like he's kind of pissed off at Johnny for being late. So we're going to do is Johnny. He was supposed to be here 15 minutes ago. All right, and then we're gonna have his assistant, who's another character, kind of be trying to console the Baron and trying to ease him down a little bit so that he is a little bit less furious with Johnny's absence. And so for generally when you're doing with supporting characters or people that are not that important, sometimes you can get away with just writing Baron's assistant or honor guard or police officer, or just the supporting roles that you're going to be using within your shot. That's what you're going to want to do for the supporting characters. If they're going to be important characters and you want to write down an actual name, sometimes I like to write down a full name just to kind of show, hey, these are important characters within the film that I'm writing. And yeah, so we're going to do that, and we're going to write Baron's assistant. And he's going to be consoling Johnny, so we're going to be like, oh, you are pacing yourself. You might actually throw out a hip. Then Baron's going to be kind of, angry with the assistant for kind of making a snarky remark. So we're going to do something like, Baron, did I pay you to sit over and be sarcastic? And mouth off like that. And Baron's assistant. All right, and then we're going to have Johnny enter the scene, and we're going to have the Baron kind of toss a baseball bat in his general direction. So he's going to be kind of mad and just grab the nearest object that he, has, and he can just chuck it at, Johnny to give a little bit more action to the scene, to give a little bit more sort of showing his rage and violence. So we're going to do that here, and I'm going to take a quick drink of my Mountain Dew. All right. So we're going to do Alright, so we're going to correct that mistake and correct that mistake. Alright. All right, so we're gonna have Johnny basically react to. So basically, we're gonna have Johnny react to getting nearly hit by this. He's gonna be a little bit surprised and a little bit sarcastic, as well, in terms of kind of how he's showing his excitement and his frustration with nearly getting hit with a baseball bat, or his surprise with nearly getting hit by a baseball bat. So we're gonna do that here. So we're gonna have Johnny be like. And then we're going to have the Baron talk back. And then we're going to have Johnny be like, boom. And then you're going to want to continue sort of the banter between the characters for 120 pages. So again, easy way to track where you're at. Right now I'm only at the first page, but once you get a little bit further along, it'll keep going, and it'll keep showing you where you're at till you get 120 pages long. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm not going to finish the rest of this screenplay. One thing you want to keep in mind is if you have a voiceover shot, what you're going to want to do is go over here and click VO or over the shoulder, or anything that has to deal with the character not being present within the shot will have sort of VO or over the shoulder within the character's name. So that basically just helps other people within who are shooting the film understand whether or not they're going to need sort of voiceover work later, or if they're going to need the actor sort of in the room but not in the shot speaking to the characters. So that's another cool technique that sometimes they use within filmmaking, is they do that. But once you're finished with your screenplay, what you're going to want to do is hit save, obviously repeatedly, or save as if you haven't saved your project, and then title it whatever you want. And then you can also save as PDF or export. If you're finished with it, you can also hit print, and that'll print out the copies to your local printer, wherever you have it kind of sent to within your house or the office. And that's pretty much the basics of how to write a screenplay. So if you want to know more about this, I'd highly suggest that you guys take a look at my previous screenplay structure sort of videos on what books you should read. I have a video entirely on that. There's obviously more that I haven't listed that I have, which I could probably do a video on in the future, but for now this is kind of what we're going to go for. So hope you guys enjoyed this short little tutorial / review. I know I kind of ran on a little bit for longer than I expected, but hopefully this helped you guys out. If you guys are interested in starting writing spec screenplays and doing this for yourself, it's really easy once you figure everything out and what you're doing. But that initial of, well, how do I start and how do I format this is a little bit tricky. So rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.